Do you ever open that cupboard under the sink and get a sharp, chemical smell that makes you wince a little? You reach for that familiar bottle, the one your mom used, the one you've used for decades, because it promises to blast away germs and leave everything sparkling clean. It feels like the right thing to do, a sign of a clean and tidy home. But what if that very act of reaching for that bottle, that familiar smell, is actually causing you more harm than good? Especially now that you're over 70, our bodies change as we get older. We become a little more sensitive. Our lungs aren't quite as robust as they once were. And what we breathe in, what touches our skin, starts to matter a whole lot more. That powerful cleaner that seemed harmless for years could be silently contributing to irritation, breathing difficulties, or just making you feel a bit under the weather without you even realizing why. It's a painful reality that sometimes the things we rely on, the trusted old ways, aren't serving us as well as they used to. There's a quiet secret, though, one that can make your home just as clean, if not cleaner, and be much kinder to your health and well-being. In this video, we're going to look at 3 very common cleaning products that, if you're over 70, are probably best avoided, or at least used with extreme caution. We'll talk about why, and what you can use instead that's just as effective, but much safer. It's about making simple swaps that protect your precious health. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about just how easy and beneficial these changes can be. Let's start with the first type of cleaner many of us have in the cupboard, the ubiquitous bottle of bleach. It's the go-to for disinfecting, for whitening whites, for tackling mold in the bathroom. We've been told for years that it's the ultimate germ killer. And yes, it is powerful. That's precisely the problem as we get older. Bleach, or sodium hypochlorite to give it its chemical name, releases fumes, even in a well-ventilated room. Those fumes can irritate the lining of your nose, throat, and lungs. For someone who might already have conditions like asthma, COPD, or just generally more sensitive airways, these fumes can trigger coughing fits, shortness of breath, or make existing breathing problems much worse. Imagine just cleaning the bathroom sink and suddenly finding it hard to catch your breath, or feeling a tightness in your chest. It's not pleasant, and it's definitely not safe. And that's just from using it normally. The real danger ramps up if bleach is accidentally mixed with other cleaners. Mixing bleach with anything containing ammonia, for example, creates highly toxic chloramine gas. You might think you'd never do that. But what if you use a different cleaner first to tackle some grime and then go over it with bleach? Even leftover residue can react. This gas can cause severe respiratory problems, chest pain, vomiting, and even be fatal. It's a terrifying thought. And unfortunately, accidents happen, especially if we're not feeling 100% or are a bit distracted. Beyond the fumes, bleach is also corrosive. A splash on your skin can cause burns, and a splash in the eye can cause serious, potentially permanent, damage. Our skin can become thinner and more fragile as we age, making us more susceptible to chemical burns. Think about cleaning the toilet bowl. It's easy to get a bit of splashback. A tiny drop you wouldn't have noticed 30 years ago could cause a nasty irritation now. So, if bleach is such a risk, what can you use instead? The good news is there are plenty of effective alternatives that don't carry the same dangers. For disinfecting surfaces, particularly in the kitchen or bathroom, simple white vinegar is surprisingly effective against many common bacteria and viruses. You can mix it 50-50 with water in a spray bottle. It has a smell, yes, but it dissipates quickly and isn't harmful to breathe in like bleach fumes. For tougher jobs or areas needing extra germ-killing power, hydrogen peroxide, the 3% kind you find in pharmacies, is excellent. You can spray it on a surface, let it bubble for a few minutes, and then wipe it away. It breaks down into water and oxygen, leaving no nasty residue or fumes. For whitening laundry, instead of bleach, try adding half a cup of baking soda or a cup of white vinegar to your wash. For tackling mold in the bathroom, a paste of baking soda and water or even just using hydrogen peroxide spray works wonders without the aggressive fumes of bleach. My neighbor, bless her, used to clean her entire bathroom with bleach every week, convinced it was the only way to keep it clean. She suffered terribly with a persistent cough, especially after cleaning days. I suggested she try vinegar and baking soda instead. She was skeptical at first, thinking it wouldn't be strong enough. But after a few weeks, not only was her bathroom just as sparkling, but her cough significantly improved. She hadn't realized the bleach was the culprit. Making the switch isn't about sacrificing cleanliness. It's about achieving it in a way that respects your changing body. It's a simple change, swapping one bottle for a couple of others. But the impact on your respiratory health and safety can be profound. Avoiding bleach, especially regular use, is one of the kindest things you can do for your lungs and your general well-being as you get older. It removes a significant source of indoor air pollution and reduces the risk of dangerous accidents. Now that we've discussed the dangers of bleach and some simple swaps, let's turn our attention to another category of cleaners that often hide some less than friendly ingredients, those general multi-purpose sprays. Beyond bleach, there's a whole array of multi-purpose cleaners we often grab off the shelf without a second thought. They promise to clean kitchens, bathrooms, floors, and surfaces with just one spray. Convenient, right? But many of these products contain a cocktail of chemicals, including things like ammonia, ethanolamines, glycol ethers, and synthetic fragrances. While they might cut through grease and grime, the fumes released from these chemicals can be just as problematic as bleach, sometimes even more so because we use them so widely around the house. Ammonia, for instance, is common in glass cleaners and some multi-surface sprays. Like bleach, its fumes irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, and can be particularly troublesome for anyone with respiratory issues. Combining ammonia with bleach, as we touched on earlier, is incredibly dangerous. Even separate, constant exposure to low levels of these fumes while you're cleaning can contribute to headaches, dizziness, and a general feeling of malaise. You might finish cleaning the kitchen and feel oddly tired or lightheaded, and you just put it down to the effort. But it could well be the chemicals you've been breathing in. Glycol ethers, often used as solvents to help cleaners cut through grease, have been linked to a range of health issues with long-term exposure, including effects on the kidneys and liver. And then there are the fragrances. Many multi-purpose cleaners are loaded with synthetic perfumes to make your home smell clean. While a pleasant scent might seem nice, these fragrances often contain phthalates, which are chemicals linked to hormone disruption, and can trigger allergic reactions, headaches, and respiratory irritation in sensitive individuals. That fresh lemon or mountain spring scent could be causing you grief without you connecting the dots. Think about how often you use these sprays, wiping down kitchen counters multiple times a day, cleaning spills, cleaning the bathroom sink daily. Each time you spray, you're releasing these chemicals into the air you breathe in an enclosed space. As we spend more time at home, especially as we get older, the quality of our indoor air becomes increasingly important for our overall health. A house filled with chemical fumes, even subtle ones, isn't a truly healthy environment. The good news is that you absolutely do not need these harsh multi-purpose cleaners to have a clean and hygienic home. Again, simple, natural alternatives are often just as effective, much cheaper, and vastly safer. White vinegar and water solution works wonders for cleaning many surfaces, including countertops, sinks, and even floors, though avoid using vinegar on natural stone like marble or granite. For grease, a sprinkle of baking soda on a damp cloth is an excellent, non-toxic abrasive that lifts grime without scratching. Follow up with vinegar spray. For glass, a solution of equal parts white vinegar and water, perhaps with a drop of washing up liquid, gives a streak-free shine without ammonia fumes. My sister switched to using just vinegar and water for most of her cleaning a few years ago. She was initially worried her house wouldn't smell clean without the perfumed sprays. But she quickly found that a truly clean house doesn't need to smell of chemicals. It just smells neutral and fresh. She also noticed she was getting fewer headaches, which she'd previously put down to eye strain or stress. She realized the strong scents from her old cleaners were the likely trigger. It's about retraining our idea of what clean smells like. It's not about a powerful chemical fragrance. It's about the absence of dirt and odor. Embracing these simpler, natural solutions not only protects your lungs and skin, but also reduces the overall chemical load in your home environment. It's a gentler way to clean that's just as effective for everyday messes and spills. It might take a little getting used to, especially if you're accustomed to that strong chemical smell. But the health benefits are well worth it. Think of it as cleaning smarter, not harder, and certainly not putting your health at risk for the sake of a sparkly surface. It's empowering to know you have control over the air quality in your own home by choosing safer products. Now, while multi-purpose cleaners are used frequently, there's another category of cleaner that, while perhaps used less often, poses significant and immediate risks due to the sheer potency of its chemicals, and that's something like drain cleaner. Now, let's talk about a product that often sits at the back of the cupboard, only brought out in moments of plumbing crisis: drain cleaner. Blocked sinks or showers are a nuisance, and reaching for a powerful liquid that promises to dissolve the blockage quickly can be tempting. However, drain cleaners are among the most corrosive and dangerous cleaning products you can have in your home. And for someone over 70, the risks are particularly elevated. These products typically contain extremely strong acids like sulfuric acid or strong alkalis like lye or caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. They work by chemically reacting with the blockage to break it down. This reaction generates heat and releases very harsh fumes. Breathing in these fumes, even for a short time in a poorly ventilated area, can cause severe burning and damage to the respiratory tract, your nose, throat, and lungs. Imagine inhaling something that feels like it's burning you from the inside. That's the potential danger of drain cleaner fumes. For older lungs, which may be less resilient, this can be incredibly damaging and lead to serious breathing difficulties or even require hospitalization. Beyond the fumes, the liquid itself is highly corrosive. A splash on the skin or in the eyes can cause immediate, severe, and potentially permanent burns. Our reflexes might not be as quick as they once were, making us less able to react in time to avoid contact if there's a spill or splash. Handling a heavy bottle of corrosive liquid, pouring it down a drain while leaning over a sink, is inherently risky. A stumble, a dropped bottle, a misjudged pour. Any of these could have devastating consequences. Furthermore, if the drain doesn't clear and you try another product afterward, especially one with different chemicals, you risk creating a violent chemical reaction or releasing toxic gases, similar to the bleach and ammonia danger, but often even more potent. Drain cleaners are designed to be destructive. They don't discriminate between hair and grease in a pipe and the tissues in your body. So, what's the safer approach to a blocked drain? Prevention is always better than cure. Using drain covers to catch hair in showers and baths, and avoiding pouring grease down the kitchen sink can prevent many blockages from occurring in the first place. For minor blockages, pouring a kettle of boiling water down the drain can sometimes help. A time-honored, simple, and safe method is the baking soda and vinegar trick. Pour half a cup of baking soda down the drain, followed by half a cup of white vinegar. Stand back as it fizzes. This reaction helps loosen blockages. After about 30 minutes, follow with hot water. This often works for common clogs and is completely non-toxic. For more stubborn blockages, a drain snake or a plunger are mechanical solutions that don't involve any chemicals at all. A drain snake is a long, flexible tool you can insert down the drain to physically dislodge or pull out the blockage. A plunger uses suction to create pressure that can push the blockage through. These tools require a bit of manual effort, but they are infinitely safer than pouring corrosive chemicals down your pipes. My father, a stubborn man in his late 70s, insisted on using a powerful drain cleaner when his kitchen sink was blocked. despite warnings. He poured it down in a poorly ventilated kitchen. He ended up in hospital with severe respiratory irritation. It was a stark reminder of just how dangerous these products are, especially as we get older. Since then, he's learned to use a plunger and baking soda, shock vinegar. And if that fails, he calls a plumber. It's a small cost compared to the potential risk to his health. Avoiding drain cleaners altogether is one of the most important steps you can take to remove a significant hazard from your home. Don't be tempted by the quick fix they promise. The risks are simply too high. There are safer, more reliable ways to tackle drain issues. Methods that protect your health and your home. It's about prioritizing safety over speed when dealing with a plumbing issue, relying on physical methods or safer, gentle reactions like baking soda and vinegar removes the danger of inhaling toxic fumes or suffering chemical burns. It's a simple shift in approach that dramatically increases safety. So, we've talked about 3 common types of cleaners that carry significant risks, particularly for those of us over 70, the strong oxidizer bleach, multi-purpose sprays loaded with irritants and fragrances, and the highly corrosive drain cleaners. It might feel a bit daunting to think about changing products you've used for years, products you trust to get the job done. But remember what we discussed: as our bodies age, our sensitivity to these chemicals increases. Our lungs are more vulnerable, our skin is more delicate, and the cumulative effect of exposure over time becomes more significant. The goal here isn't to make cleaning harder or less effective. Not at all. The wonderful truth, and perhaps the surprising part I mentioned earlier, is that switching to safer, often natural alternatives can actually be incredibly simple, remarkably effective, and often much cheaper in the long run. Think about it: white vinegar, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, washing up liquid, and hot water can tackle the vast majority of cleaning tasks in your home safely and effectively. You're swapping a cupboard full of potentially dangerous chemicals for a few inexpensive, multi-purpose pantry staples. You might even save money. More importantly, you are creating a healthier home environment for yourself. You're reducing the chemical fumes you breathe in every day, which can lead to fewer headaches, less nasal or throat irritation, and a significant improvement in breathing for anyone with respiratory conditions. Your skin will thank you for not being exposed to harsh irritants. There's peace of mind in knowing that what you're using to clean is safe for you and your home. It's not just about avoiding immediate dangers. It's about nurturing your health and well-being for the future. Making these small changes isn't a chore. It's an act of self-care. It's empowering to take control of your home environment and make conscious choices that support your health as you age. It might feel different at first. Maybe the smell of vinegar isn't what you're used to, but the absence of that chemical sting and the positive impact on how you feel day to day are profound benefits. Don't feel pressured to swap everything overnight. Start with one product. When your bleach runs out, try hydrogen peroxide and vinegar instead. When your multi-purpose spray is empty, mix up a batch of vinegar and water. When a drain gets slow, reach for the baking soda and vinegar or a plunger before even thinking about chemical drain cleaner. Small steps lead to big changes. Your home can be spotlessly clean without putting your health at risk. You deserve to feel safe and breathe easily in your own home. It's never too late to adopt new, healthier habits. Remember, small changes really can make a big difference to your health and happiness. I'd love to hear what you think or if you've already made any of these swaps. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your tips could help someone else if you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up, as that helps other people find it too. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more practical tips and advice for living your best life at every age.